Alright, YouTube. So today's video is going to be about past cruises that I have been on. And I'm mainly making this because I'm about to go on a cruise this Sunday. And I realized I never made any videos of any of my other cruises. So this upcoming cruise will actually be our first vlog for the cruise. But the other ones, if you want to see pictures, just go to my Instagram. There's some on there. And that'll be linked in the description. So, if any of you guys have questions about cruising, just go ahead and drop them in the comments and I'll answer them, or I will create a whole nother video. This first video I'm doing will be about the past 2 cruises I have been on. And the second video will be about the cruise we're about to go on, also with some tips and tricks when it comes to cruising. So the first cruise I ever went on was actually with my husband, who was my boyfriend thing at the time. We really didn't have the whole title thing in the beginning, but obviously we were exclusive. But anyways, different topic. So he had been on, I think, 2 cruises before that one, and I was kind of scared to go on a cruise, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm like deathly afraid of the ocean and of drowning and just all the things that are in the ocean, you know, which I know a lot of them wouldn't come anywhere near us, but still, it's scary. So, you know, anyways, a lot of bad experiences when it comes to the water as well, so I'm just not a big water person. I mean, I love swimming pools. Other than that, it was a little difficult for me to get on the first cruise and to go snorkeling and kayaking and stuff like that. So the first cruise we booked together was a 7-day cruise with Royal Caribbean. Now, if you guys do not know, there's 3 major brands. 3 major cruise lines. There's a whole bunch more cruise lines, but usually the most popular ones are Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Carnival. I personally would rate them in that order: Royal, Norwegian, and then Carnival. I've never been on a Carnival cruise. My husband has, but I would probably never go on a Carnival cruise. I'm not doing it. So we took a 7 days on Royal Caribbean. Now, I did watch a lot of videos about the difference between Royal Caribbean and Norwegian. They are relatively the same when it comes to pricing, when it comes to the ship. Obviously, each ship, they have different things on the ship, but I just feel like Royal Caribbean just takes it to a whole nother level. It was just a much better experience on Royal Caribbean than it was on Norwegian. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had tons of fun on Norwegian, and their entertainment staff, the cruise director Luz, was fantastic. So she definitely beat Royal Caribbean when it came to that part. But overall cruise, Royal Caribbean for me is the best, which I think my husband agrees. We've also decided to go on 1 cruise every single year, so we will be doing that as well. So the first cruise, again, was Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas. In the beginning, we really didn't care about ship, we cared more about destination. So with that being said, I wanted to go to the Bahamas. So we just found out which ship was going to the Bahamas when we wanted to go, and that's the ship we went on. We didn't say, hey, I'm going on the biggest, best, most expensive one regardless of where it's going. No, I wanted to go to the Bahamas, so that's where we went regardless of what ship we were on. So now Royal Caribbean has different classes for their ships. I don't know which one Anthem of the Seas falls under, but it is a smaller ship. Some of you may know right now they have Harmony of the Seas and Symphony of the Seas, which is the largest cruise ship in the world. So Anthem of the Seas does not fall in that category. But it was a great ship. There's tons of stuff to do on board. So don't ever worry about being bored unless you're a person that's like, I don't want to swim. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to see a show. I don't want to play card games. I don't want to go eat. I don't want to go to the gym. Well, then what are you doing on a cruise? But anyways, That one, so the first port we went to was actually Port Canaveral, Florida, because we did leave from New Jersey. So, just so y'all know, don't ever leave out of New Jersey unless you're from New Jersey. Oh my God. That was the worst experience being in New Jersey, and their airport sucks. But anyways, so stopped in Port Canaveral, Florida, which with that, we just went to the mall, you know, because we were just in Florida. It's not like it was anywhere special or exotic, you know, it was Florida. So we just went to the mall. We did get energy drinks and stuff to bring back on board, which I believe the only reason they let us do that was the fact that we were in Florida. We were still in the United States, because we tried on the last cruise to bring stuff back and they would not let us. And I think that's because we were in Bermuda. We weren't in the United States anymore. So don't try to bring stuff, drinks and food back on ship, except for alcohol. You can buy alcohol from other countries, but they will confiscate it until the cruise is over, and then you can pick it up. So then we went to Coco Cay. So Coco Cay's Royal Caribbean's like private island, so no other cruise line is allowed to go there. That one is theirs, which they actually have been working on renovating the whole entire island. So if you look up Perfect Day in Coco Cay, you will see all the renovations that they have done to the island. It's like one gigantic resort, like the whole island. Tons of stuff to do. It looks amazing, which I told my husband we're gonna go back there one of these days just to see what they had done to the island. While in Coco Cay, that is when we kayaked and went on a nature walk. So I enjoyed the nature walk because you got to learn about the island, and they told you about, you know, what each plant is used for, because, you know, they make their own medicine, they use it for food, they use it for so many things. So that was interesting, learning about that and seeing some weird animals, because on the island they literally just had like cats wandering around, iguanas, like all sorts of interesting animals. So that was kind of cool. I want to say there was a chicken as well, but I don't quite remember. I'd have to go back and look, but I think there was a chicken just running around. But you're not supposed to, you know, like do anything to the animals. Like I think they were feeding the cat, but other than that, they, you know, you don't want to really mess with them. Kayaking. Now, me and my husband are great communicators, but he's not that great with directions. So usually what you want is the strongest person in the back, because they're the ones that are pretty much making your little kayak move. But unfortunately, him in the back was the one that also had to tell me which direction to go so we could move. Well, you see, our little group of people was like over here, going this way. We were over here, going this way. And I'm looking at him like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and obviously he got mad at me because I was getting mad at him. But like, he kept saying like, you know, left or whatever. And we kept turning this way. Everybody else is over here. And I'm like, babe, we need to go this way. We need to hit it the other way because we need to turn the boat this way. And, you know, he got all upset. Like, fine, why don't you just tell me which way to go? And I'm like, no, that's not really how this works. But okay, we're going this way because we need to get back with everybody else. So we finally get to the side where we stop and take a break and we can just chill in the water. You know, we were looking at starfish and stuff, so that was pretty cool. But then on the way back, my husband was like, why don't you be in the back then? And I was like, yo, I'm not as strong as you. This little kayak ain't gonna go anywhere if I'm in the back. So sure enough, for him to turn us, it was like left, like one turn and one turn. For me, it was like left, 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 left. It was never ending, you know, so we've just decided we're not gonna kayak again. And then, you know, we're out in the water, and I've kayaked before, and usually I'm either by myself or I'm very picky about who my partner is because I do not want to flip over because, yet again, I'm afraid of the water. So nobody told me that the Bahamas was like shallow water everywhere. Nobody told me that. So I saw this girl flip over in her kayak, and she stood right up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this water only like 4 feet deep, 5 feet deep, maybe at the most. I was like, yo, if y'all would have told me this before, I wouldn't have been freaking out on the way over here trying not to tip us over because the water is only 4 feet deep. I could have just stood right back up. Reminds me of that meme with that, you know, that little kid that's hanging onto the rope, freaking out in the water, and they're like, just stand up, just stand, and he's freaking out, you know. But anyways, that was an experience that we will probably never do again. But anyways, then when we went to Nassau, I don't know how to say it, but you know what I'm saying. There we did snorkeling and a land and sea tour. Snorkeling was scary, but thankfully they told me from where we were at in the water all the way to the bottom was only 10 feet. So I wasn't concerned about how deep the water was. I was still a little concerned about what might be under the water. And I had never snorkeled before. So I had a hard time getting the snorkel to not let water in, you know, when I was breathing, which I know was all my fault. But, you know, anyways, it took me a while to figure that out. So the first time I went to look in, I was breathing in water. So I got a little scared because, you know, I was like, I can't breathe, you know, but I really wanted to see all the fish and stuff. So probably after about 15 minutes, when I finally calmed down, we had a little floaty and everything. Then I enjoyed, you know, the rest of it and got to see some cool fish and stuff. One of them almost touched me, but then it ran away, swam away, whatever. So that was really cool. And then the land and sea tour, exactly what it sounds like. We were on a ship, well, a little boat, took us around, told us where all the famous people live and stuff, and then took us back. We got on a bus, went to Atlantis, got to just explore around Atlantis for a little bit, and then they took us back. So that was my first cruise, and that was fun. And then ever since my first cruise, I was like, when are we going again? I need to do this again. I absolutely loved it. So then we planned another one, which sadly, we took a year off in between, which I don't think any of me or him realized that we didn't go in between the years, because we went on the first one in 2016, and then we didn't go on the second cruise until April of 2018. So we didn't go at all in 2017. I don't know what happened during that year, but whatever. So the second cruise that we just went on April of last year was on the Norwegian Dawn. Again, not a higher class ship, but not at the bottom either. This one was interesting because we left out of Boston, Massachusetts, which was really good for us because my husband is from Massachusetts. So, you know, we stayed at his mom's house a few days before, and then, where did we stay at the hotel? We might have got a hotel. I don't really remember, but anyways, I think we got a hotel. So, his sister also came with us. I believe it was her first cruise. So that was good for her, you know. And we decided to go on a Bermuda cruise. It's the only place it stopped. So that was fantastic because it spent 3 days in Bermuda. Now, normally on a cruise, it stops at multiple locations, just like the last one I told you, and you only get about 8 to 10 hours, if you're lucky, on the island. So you really have to be picky with what you decide to do. But with being in Bermuda for 3 days, that was nice. All we did was we snorkeled with his sister, and then me and my husband went on a catamaran rum swizzle, like couples kind of little cruise for to see the sunset. That was really nice, except the catamaran, like every time it hit a wave, it just splashed water all over us, and it was freezing. It was weird. I think the first day in Bermuda was like perfect. It was almost a little too hot, and then the second day it was a little cooler, and then the third day it almost started to rain. So it's really cold. And you know, you're thinking sunset, catamaran cruise, like you're not thinking I need to wear a jacket and sweatpants, you know, like I'm pretty sure I had a sweater, but I was wearing like shorts because, you know, I thought this is gonna be, no, it was freezing cold. But anyways, I loved being in Bermuda for the 3 days. We also went to the beach. We went and got some really good food. We actually got the island specialty thing, because each place that you go to, they have like their own kind of food that you could really only get when you're there. You can't get anywhere else. They had a wahoo fish sandwich. That was probably the best thing I've ever tasted in my life, especially because I don't really like fish. I don't even know what wahoo fish is. Like, I don't know what kind of fish that is. But pretty much was the wahoo fish. It was some sort of coleslaw, some other sort of sauce. I don't think it had hot sauce. And then it was on raisin bread. Raisin bread. That's what threw us off, because we were like, ew. Raisin bread is sweet and cinnamony, you know, and you're gonna put fish and coleslaw on a cinnamon raisin sandwich? Like, that's kind of weird, but no, it was amazing, and it fit perfectly. We actually went back there twice. We ate there, so I definitely would recommend getting that if you're ever in Bermuda. So those are the past cruises that I have been on. I definitely recommend the Bermuda cruise, but the thing that sucks is I want to say Norwegian might be the only, well, out of the 3, might be the only one that actually spends 3 days in Bermuda. I want to say there are some Royal Caribbean cruises that would spend like 1 night in Bermuda, so technically like you dock in Bermuda and then you have all that day and part of the next day before you leave again, and then it goes to all its other places. But I want to say Norwegian Cruise Line was the only one that actually spent that many days in Bermuda. So that was really nice, because I feel like it gave you so much more time to explore, so much more time for excursions, so much more time for shopping. Like, we didn't really have to sit there and be picky with what we wanted to do, because we knew if we didn't do it yesterday, we were able to do it the next day. And if we didn't do it that day, we could do it, you know, the next day. So that was definitely a plus. So if you like staying in locations a little longer, then I would recommend that one. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it when it comes to the past cruises. If there's anything you guys want to know about cruising, or know more about my experience, or more about what there is to do on board, or roughly how much things cost and all the other amenities on the cruise ship, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and I will answer those questions in another video, because I am actually about to do a second video about the cruise we will be leaving for on Sunday. Well, actually we leave on Friday, but anyways, you gotta watch the next video for that one. And then my third video will be packing and tips and tricks for cruising. So look forward for those other videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please share if you think anybody will find this useful. Sorry I don't have anything cool in the background. All that stuff's in the living room, and I'm recording this on my phone, and I don't have, you know, a tripod to stand it up on so you can see some cool stuff in the background. So I'm gonna have to find something to put on the wall back there so you have something interesting to look at, when really you should just be looking at me. maybe my cool headband from junk brands, but all right, watch the next video.